The library is really the only freely accessible space to every community member, all ages, all economic backgrounds, from the day they were born until the day they pass on. This is their building.
The West Branch Library is a Carnegie library that was built in 1909. It has had some minor renovations over the years, but has fallen into some disrepair over the last several decades. There wasn't a handicap-accessible entrance. There wasn't an elevator.
We had plumbing problems. We had heating problems. We had no cooling, actually, on the top floor. We would close it on very hot days. When it rained, we would get damp places in the children's room over by the 900s. So it was always a little soggy.
The walls had been peeling paint for as long as I could remember, at least 25 or 30 years.
It was a library that was well-loved and also needed to have a lot of love put into it.
It probably took almost 5 years to get this project going. There was a lot of planning, a lot of design work back and forth, and a lot of program work.
This was going to be a major project for a densely populated neighborhood, so there were a lot of things to consider.
It was so lovely to walk into these meetings and see 100+ faces who were there because they cared deeply about what happened to their community library.
We really took that energy, we took those objectives, those goals of the community and the planning team, and then we made sure we could fund it and get it done.
Working with designLAB was a really eye-opening process. And so when you see it start to get fleshed out, you get very excited about it.
Often these sort of restoration projects are not done properly. This has been done really well. It's good for another 100 years at least.
I love the redesign. It really means a lot to me that so much of the original features have been kept. That spiral staircase that goes down to the basement, to my mind, that's how you get down to all of the wonderful books.
As you come in, you'll notice that the ceiling, all the dental work and the plaster has been restored, and they've also restored the stenciling. A stenciling organisation was contracted who specialise in historic stencils to actually recreate these stencils and to put them back on the ceiling.
In the children's room, there's a gorgeous skylight, and it actually was always there, but it had been covered over with a drop ceiling for many, many years. Remember, we're going from a basement space with peeling paint and flooding patches to a top floor space with a large open space in the center that we can use for story time or for games.
My favorite part is the little window seats. I am going to come here every day to look at the dinosaur section.
The new addition and the new work that they did, along with the restoration of the West, it really does feel seamless, even though it has a very modern feel to it. Sitting here and being able to see the exposed brick on a new inside part of the building is just so cool. You really see how the architects designed a building where they considered every square foot of space and every inch of it and tried to give the public and give the library as much flexibility and purpose as possible.
Prior to the renovation, we were limited in the types and amount of programming that we could do, just given the constraints of the space and the lack of accessibility. Now we have several different community multi-purpose flex spaces, and we're so excited to use them in different ways.
The way the addition was designed and the multi-purpose space downstairs, it was designed so that even when the library wasn't open, the community could still come in and use the space. So that could be for a lecture, maybe we have a gallery celebration.
The outside area where I'm sitting right now can open up and it goes out onto an open courtyard. We can have string quartets, we can have jazz. Honk will be ideal. There's all sorts of music and things that we can actually do here.
It's a place where the community can come together. We're already seeing events being held here. I'm kind of dreaming up other ways that I could bring people into my neighborhood to host public events here.
I hope that the West Branch Library will be a place that people want to go for so many different reasons. Whether someone just wants to run in and out and check out a book or spend a long time browsing, learn something new, meet a friend, play a game, I think that we'll have the ability with this new building to do all of those things.
By doing the renovation and by doing the restoration, what we've been able to offer, not just the West Somerville community, but really the whole entire city, is a beautiful space that is free and open to literally anybody who wants to come through our doors.